Rockposer's Roulette.
Well, the next two guys we've got on the show this week, I am really, really pleased to be talking to, and it's two gentlemen from a little-known band you might know as Skid Row.
You may have heard of us.
May have heard us. If the two of you like to introduce yourselves.
I'm Rob Hammersmith. I play drums.
Johnny Solinger here.
Well, this has got to be probably one of the weirdest venues you've ever played.
To be honest with you, I've seen the back door and the hallway leading to this room. So I have yet to see
here.
Yeah, I've yet to see the actual venue.
Oh, you haven't seen the rest of the venue yet?
I have not seen it.
It's obviously an old steel works. It's a museum as well.
Okay.
As you cut through, if you walk into the AOR 2 stage, which is a hell of a long walk. It's like you're almost in Sheffield by the time you get to the end of the corridor.
Gotcha.
It's you go past all the old steelworks, and you can sort of light it up with searchlights. It's like an interactive tour, so for school kids and the likes of that.
So I should be prepared to get lost on my way to the stage.
And prepared to stay warm as well.
Okay.
It is on the AOR stage. You'll be pleased to know it's rather warm. You've got to thank your lucky stars you're not on the prog stage.
Okay.
The last band who came off there last night, apparently it was about -2.
Wow.
And they're getting towards hypothermia stage.
Forget that, man.
Welcome to England in April.
Exactly.
Yeah, this weather is ridiculous.
Now, I've heard it's been a little colder than normal for this time of year.
Just
correct?
a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just been.
You know what it is? It's all that global warming.
It's going in the opposite direction.
I wish it would warm up.
I do too.
Well, here's something for your listeners. When I left Texas, it was 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So you could sunbathe, go to the pool, barbecue.
Oh, rub it in, why don't you?
I'm trying.
I've been to Texas once, many years ago. It'd be 1979 when there was a heat wave. Because I remember getting a T-shirt saying I survived a Texas heat wave. It was like 110 degrees.
Man, what were you doing there in '79?
My dad was doing a job exchange, and we were in Philadelphia, just outside Philadelphia, a couple of months, and then visiting friends down the other side of Houston. So.
Oh shoot! Or shit. Yeah, I live in the Woodlands presently, which is just north of Houston, Texas. Yeah.
We went camping for the first week. We say the Woodlands. We drove down this road, which was needle straight for I don't know how many miles, and it never changed. There's trees both sides. It's just like. Hell, you could easily get lost.
Well, you got to have a shotgun and a fishing pole just in case you get stuck in the mud.
Well, there were raccoons coming down to the campsite every night. It was unbelievable.
You got a hat and dinner.
Absolutely, yeah. So, how's the tour going?
Tour's going great. Tonight will be the fourth show, and the reception has just been fantastic each night. First two nights were sold out. Last night was close. We expect a great crowd tonight, so we're having a great time.
I'm just pleased to see the band again. I mean, I first saw Skid Row the first time you came over to the UK, which would have been at Milton Keynes Bowl back in 80.
First record was '89, so it's probably '89 or '90.
89, 90. It was. I'm trying to think who else was on the bill. There's quite a few bands, but that was an amazing gig. And then I saw you guys again. Be about a year or so later, and since then I've not had chance. So I've got to say you're one of the bands.
You haven't seen the band in like 14 years, then?
No, longer
Shame
than that.
on you, sir. This interview's over.
I cannot wait to see you guys play. It's going to be a real treat for me.
Cool, appreciate it.
So setting up for the tour. Obviously, you've done various dates in the UK already. Going forward from here, what are your plans? Are you looking at maybe doing another album, or?
We are. The plan right now, the first of a series of 3 EPs it'll be available physically in North America and online worldwide on April 16th.
Okay.
And there'll be a physical release date, the UK and other parts of the world on May 27th. So what we're doing 3 installments. So we're doing Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and we're looking at about 6 to 8 months between each release. So we'll release a handful of songs. This particular one is 5 songs, and we will go out, tour, promote the EP, go back in the studio, record some more songs, probably do some bonus tracks for like maybe the UK release will have a couple cover songs, or we'll do some bonus material here and there. So we're not just releasing a handful of songs and then living with it or promoting it or touring on it for 4 years or 5 years. We're going to do things a little bit differently this time around. So that's the plan.
And Johnny, how are you going with your second country? Rock?
It's going really well. It's going really well. When we had some downtime before we started all the United World Rebellion recording, I was able to get in and do another record. And there's a single out. I think they're playing it over here already. You know, I'm surprised at how much country radio you guys have over here. You don't look like you listen to it with that long hair and that beard.
I've got a very eclectic taste, like most British people. I mean, we are speaking to all manner of bands, all different genres. I mean, I really like my blues stuff as well. And they will say they generally get a better reception in the UK. I think we're not more forgiving, but we're more open, should I say, to different types of music. We don't tend to pigeonhole people so much. If we like it, we like it.
Right. Well, God bless you for that, because you know what? Like you say, eclectic. I mean, I grew up in Texas, and in college or even in high school, if you listen to the radio or you're at a party, keg party, as a kid when you're drinking, whenever I was younger, the drinking age was 18. It changed before I got to be 21, but you go to a keg party, you're going to hear AC/DC at the time, and then you'll hear Willie Nelson. You'll hear some White Snake or some Led Zeppelin, and then you'll hear Johnny Cash. And it's just normal to me. I didn't realize you had to love one or the other. So, you know, when I was lucky enough to score the Skid Row gig, I was going to use everything I could to do everything that I wanted to do. And country music was just another outlet for me to do, not to get a job.
Well, I think when you generally speak to most bands and musicians, when they actually dig down into sort of their record collections, I think a lot of people are probably surprised with what guys have hidden in their collection.
I think you're right.
You know, most people think, oh, well, that's it, rock band, they only listen to rock, that's it, all the time, and it's far from the case at all. Because,
I agree with you totally.
You know, there's so many different influences that come into rock music, or, you know, why pigeonhole it? Yeah, music's music. It's either good or it's bad. I mean, it's as simple as that.
As artists and as musicians, we want to evolve, and we want to grow, and you want to be interested and passionate about what it is you're doing, and you can't do that if every day is exactly the same, or if every song is exactly the same. You got to step outside your comfort zone.
I mean, looking at the rock scene at the moment, it seems to be on a real resurgence at the moment. I think it's partly a nostalgia wave for like old gits like me, but there are so many great new young bands coming forward as well, which is obviously encouraging for everybody, and it means that we're bringing more young fans in. I mean, you've probably seen at your gigs quite an age group mixture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those underage girls are really cool to see. If they got X's on their hands, it's even better. Bring them up front. No, it is. We were talking earlier as the fans that were the same age as, or maybe older, when the first record came out in 1989, have kids. They have younger siblings, and actually, from what I like to say, Skid Row's actually become kind of underground. You know, we're with an indie label. It's not, all the major labels are folding like sheets and shirts. So, you know, we're definitely not mainstream anymore. And I kind of like that. I like my odds that way. So to be playing for kids now, you're seeing these kids growing their hair out now. And you see long-haired kids like you used to see.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And, you know, and there's mohawks and weird dudes, everybody trying to find their personality. But these kids are growing their hair out and they're banging their heads again.
Well, let's face it, I mean, the music industry has changed so much. You know, there is, you know, what is the industry model? Well, there isn't one anymore.
You're exactly right. Everybody's trying to kind of come up with their own model, and that's great. But it's tough. It's difficult.
So many people I've spoken to have said, you know, as much as the curse of Facebook, and you know, everyone said, oh, you know, it's the Antichrist. It has helped bands an awful lot, not just for publicity, but even just to get close to the fans. There's more of a connection.
It's definitely done that.
Skid Row, Facebook.
It's leveled the playing field for bands, which in a lot of ways is a good thing. In a lot of ways it's a bad thing. It's created what I call white noise. Now it's with technology and some of the resources that we have available, honestly, everybody can put together a recording fairly inexpensively, and then you can release it inexpensively. That's a great thing for a band. The difficult thing is then how do you stand out from every other band who has just made an inexpensive recording and released
Absolutely.
it? So it creates a lot of white noise, and I think quality control is not an issue. There's nobody guarding there's nobody keeping the gates, if you will. So it's a double-edged sword.
Well, guys, thank you very much for taking the time up to speak to me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see you guys on stage, Ada. I know you're absolutely going to rip it up a treat. And thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
a lot,
Thanks.
Like the show? Visit our website, rockposer.com, or hit our Facebook page, Rockposers Roulette.